What's going on, good people? It's yours truly, DJ Rick Rue, and I have the honor and the privilege of DJing I.S.U.P.K. Florida's 53rd annual Passover going down April 15th, 2022. It's really going down, Cocoa Beach, Florida. We will be in the building. I know it's going to be a Passover, but we're going all the way up. I promise you, man. I'm going to be there in the booth doing my thing. So I hope to see everybody else there.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you and your
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of war.
How's with all your dishes, pots, pans, forks, knives?
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean? Yeah. This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
Why was it my blood? I'm a U.P.K. creation. We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the base.
I don't want to do that at the last minute. You ready?
We unmuted.
All right, what are we looking like? You got to share?
I don't see that.
All right. Keep looking for it if you can find it. If not, don't worry about it.
Come.
All right. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. We under commanding Gen.YAHANNA. This is the I.S.U.P.K. Jacksonville, Florida, preaching officer Kazak tomorrow in the Brentwood Library. You know what I'm saying? We do classes here and at 103rd. We might be doing some more classes. I think we gonna institute a Lashawan Kodash Hebrew class on Friday night. I'm trying to get that instituted. If y'all want to do that, I'm gonna ask y'all later. And then we're gonna see what we can do about putting in some work. So you want to get into school? What is it? 561-600-8875.
Come.
Boy, good. It's amazing what you can remember when you're on smoke weed. It's unbelievable. Go ahead, man. Anybody got any questions? First of all, let's start there. Anybody got any questions? No questions?
I found a way to share it.
If so, you can send it to Officer Thumbnail and Officer Halak. You got, as long as you got their emails, you should be to
I was gonna send it from my phone. I sent it myself just now. I was gonna send it.
all right, that's fine. You can do that too. Look,
AJ.
look, watch this, watch this. Won't he do it? Shalom, sis. He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You understand? You got it? You good? You got the link? Yeah, if they pop in, just make sure they're good before you pop them into the joint. And as long as they not reading or asking a question, you don't have to have them on the screen. All right. Got a question, sis? All right. Nobody got no questions. Everybody knows the Bible.
So like I said,
Yeah.
can I put it in the group chat we had earlier?
You can do that. That's fine. All right. So since we know the Bible, then I just ask y'all questions, and y'all can teach me today. How about that? That's cool. Here's a hard one. Is color in the Bible? Well, you know that answer, don't you? Of course not. God loves everybody.
Like I wanted another question.
Oh, you got a question?
Oh,
go ahead. Go with your question.
No, if I can I get a breakdown of Hebrews 9, 1 through 5?
Hebrews 9, 1 through 5. Let's do it. Hey, brother, Salagi. My menorah was sideways. You sure I'm good over there? You gotta check me out now. I'm looking bad. It's your fault. All right. You said Hebrews 5, 1 through 5? Yeah. Hebrews 9, 1 through 5? You have a specific question about it? Or something you don't understand in specific?
I just really wanted to know, was this basically in the Ark of the Covenant?
Was it in the Ark of the Covenant?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and read it.
Hebrews chapter 9, verse 1.
You can read it a little bit louder.
Hebrews chapter 9, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of divine service and a worldly sanctuary. But there was a tabernacle made, the first, wherein was the candlestick and the table and the showbread, which is called the sanctuary. And after the second veil, the tabernacle, which is called the holiest of all, verse 4, which had the golden censer and the ark of the covenant overlaid round about with gold, wherein was the golden pot that had manna, and Aaron's rod that budded, and the tables of the covenant, and over it the cherubims of glory, shadowing the mercy seat, of which we cannot now speak particularly.
Go to the next one.
Verse 6. Now when these things were thus ordained, the priests went always into the first tabernacle, accomplishing the service of God.
All right, so look, what this is talking about, right? If you start, it's first talking about the tabernacle, but inside the tabernacle is saying that the Ark of the Covenant was in there. And it's describing those things. If you click the link, no, you gotta stop it right there. So you gotta mute yourself.
escape yourself. I want to make sure it works.
Yeah, it worked. So so it says verse 9, then verily, this talking about actually all the stuff that's in the old covenant, right? That was in the tabernacle. So it says, then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of divine service and a worldly sanctuary. So basically, there's a real tabernacle or sanctuary that they would go through, right? But the first covenant had ordinances by even like the way they built it. The Lord told them how to build it. It's got to be this many cubits by this. It's got to have this. It's got to be laid like this. This what skin you use. This what wood you use, so on and so forth. For there was a tabernacle made. The first wherein was the candlestick. So it had the menorah inside, and the table and the showbread. So it's describing, like for instance, how we set up our schools. Like maybe the dimensions might be different because it ain't our per se building that we building from scratch, but the way the tabernacle was supposed to be set up, how they had a showbread, how they had a menorah, so on and so forth. These was all things that was given to us in the Old Testament for us, to basically build it the way the Lord said to build it. All right, and then the table and the showbread, which is called the sanctuary. So let's talk about that. Then there was a veil within the tabernacle. Okay, this verse 3. And after the second veil, the tabernacle, which was called the holiest of all. So everybody couldn't go back there. In certain places, only the priest could go. It's basically like they the only ones that could deal with the Lord from that point on. You understand?
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
basically like the holiest of holies.
Well, this is called, that's exactly what it is. But they saying the holiest of all in the Greek or whatever in the New Testament. So that's what they would call it. Yeah. What verse? Verse 4, which had a golden censer and the ark of the covenant overlaid round about with gold. So inside the holiest of the holies was the ark of the covenant. All right. And wherein was the gold pot that had manna. This was what was inside the ark of the covenant, and Aaron's rod that budded, and the tables of the covenant. So they also had the golden, I mean not the golden, the scrolls that Moses brought down, the tablets and the manna and the pot. All of this stuff was inside the ark of the covenant. All right, and over it, the cherubims of gold shadowing the mercy seat, of which we cannot now speak particularly, meaning I don't have the information to go into details of what it looked like because we don't have the Ark of the Covenant, but I know it was written in the law how it should look. All right, so this is what he's talking about. You had any other questions on it?
No.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else? No? All right. Give me 1 Peter 2:2. Sis, you ready for Passover? What's the laugh about?
Because you ask me that every week.
I ask everybody every week.
No, every week.
Don't worry, it's only about 2 more times I'm gonna have to ask you that, then the Passover will be.
I might have an actual answer for you one of them times.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I understand. Well, I'll tell you, like I told everybody else, if there's anybody that popped up, whatever you do, we have something that we know of, or we call in the school the Passover demon, and he will show up at some point or another, and he is going to cause all kind of hell. Whatever happens, do not let it mess up or deter you from keeping the Lord's Passover. All right. Just ignore it. Just, kick his ass and then keep it. If you need some help, call him into the Lord. We'll help you through it. Well, before you call me, call your husband. Call him. If he needs some help, tell him to call me. You got it? You got it? Let me get it.
When we start at verse 1 or 2.
You can start at verse 1 if you want to.
Come on. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings.
So what does all these words mean? Malice and guile and evil speakings. What is he talking about? When he's saying lay it aside, what that mean?
It's like, don't do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what he means. Well, it's like, okay, let's say you're carrying something, right? And you need to get it out your hand so you can put something else in there. You're gonna lay it aside, like you're gonna push it away. You're gonna, what they say, push to the back burner.
It's like,
Yeah.
when they come in, do I have to add them to the stream?
They not gonna be on the screen, but they can actually see the class.
Not because I gotta add.
You don't have to add them to the screen unless you can see if they have a question. If you want to add them to the screen, you can. All right. If you can, then you're gonna have to move them around. You can make them smaller, whatever the case may be. Now, if you want to play around with that, that's fine. Don't be scared, man. All right. Just make sure to tell them if they have a question. You know, they can raise their hand. I'm sure they probably can. I don't know. There might be a chat somewhere. Either way, that was the only question you had.
Okay.
All right. So it says laying aside malice and guile and what it say? Give me that again.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, laying aside all malice
Mm-hmm.
and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings.
And all evil speakings, right? All of these things it's talking about is certain things that you might have dealt with. You might have been a hypocrite. You might have been envious. You might have had a bunch of rude and other evil things to say out your mouth before you came into the truth. But as you come into the truth, you got to lay these things aside. You got to push them to the side and become a new person, right? Give me verse 2.
Okay. Verse 2. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
You have to be like a newborn baby. Like this word that we giving you, it's like what Christ said in Matthew chapter 4. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by the words that come out of the mouth of the Lord. I'm paraphrasing. But you have to be like newborn babies for this truth. You got to really want it. Otherwise, it's other things that you can feed your mind, you can feed in your spirit besides this truth. So you got to really want it. You understand? Like when a baby is hungry, they crying for this milk. They ain't waiting on you to just bring it to them being silent and chilling. They going to get it. If they could get up and walk, they would, but they can't. So they depended on you to do it. That's how you have to be dependent on the Lord. That's how you have to be dependent on the men of the Lord to give you. As newborn babies desire the sincere milk of the word, that's how you know he's not talking about real milk, that you may grow thereby. Eventually, you ain't going to be a baby no more. You're going to already be strong enough to stand on your own. You might be strong enough to walk. You might even be able to help somebody else. But you got to start there. So anytime, I always like to bring little stuff that talks about us getting that milk and starting out with the foundation of the word, just to make sure that we always don't get ahead of ourselves. We're trying to, in the same instance, walk before we crawl. You know what I'm saying? You got to crawl before you walk. People say that it's always going back to, like Christ said, you got to become like one of these babes. All right. Any questions on that? No. No question. All right. If there's anybody that came in, see if they got any questions. Just tell them, shake their head, yes or no if they got any questions. They heard me. As long as you got me unmuted.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to let me go through this real quick. If nobody got no questions. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 1. It's talking about understanding, right? Rakon, if you could, can you give me the definition of understanding? Definition of understanding. While he does that, can somebody tell me what understanding is? from their own words. It ain't got to be a scholarly definition. What does it mean to understand something?
So,
You can unmute them just in case they want to chime in. You wanted to answer the question? Yeah, let them mute themselves if they're not speaking.
Trooper Halak says to comprehend.
Comprehend, that's a good one. Anybody else? Yeah, if they unmuted, I should be able to hear them, right? Everybody that's in there, can you unmute and just salute the class? Let me know if I can hear you. I just want to make sure everything working right. You don't have them muted, right? Okay.
You muted yourself. Now you're muted.
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn it up, I guess. No, you heard me. That's how you answered the question.
Oh, you tapped in. Typed it in.
All right. Anybody got any other answers? What do you say? Comprehend? What's another good word that's like a synonym for understand? Comprehend might be the good one. It ain't in the Bible dictionary, I'll tell you that. Nobody? Go ahead, Racon, you got it?
Okay. Webster's Dictionary, understanding. A mental grasp, comprehension.
There it is, comprehension. Brother was right, go ahead.
The power of comprehending. A mutual agreement not formally entered into, but in some degree binding on each side.
Yeah, that's like a understanding, right? So to understand would be to comprehend. What does the comprehend mean? Somebody tell me what that means. To understand? Of course. I know it. Of course. Right. So let's go to we got Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. You got it for me, Racon?
Okay.
Go ahead and read it for me out.
My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
Forget not my law, but let thy heart. When you see heart in the scriptures, what is it?
Mind.
Yeah, Salah. You can say Salakia, but yeah, you're right. Your mind. My son, forget not my law, but let your mind keep my commandments. What does that mean? I'm looking for one word.
Salah.
Go ahead.
Obey.
No, because that wouldn't be your mind keeping the commandments. That would be you or your body keeping the commandments.
So I can off top. You still want them to do a quick salute, see if we can.
Yeah. Your mind being your mind keeping the commandments. What does that mean?
Comprehension.
That's a good guess, but no, it's wrong. Anybody else? Nobody ain't gonna chime in? We a recorder otherwise in class. I give y'all a minute. Don't worry. Go ahead.
It'd be like your mind understanding it.
That's not the word I'm looking for. That was a good guess though. Since I said that's what we was talking about, I would have guessed that too. That's the second time you try to use understand as a look. You think you smart now? I'm just messing with you. Yo, if your mind is keeping the commandments, let's say you ain't did nothing to keep the commandments. What are you doing? What does it mean? I'm looking for one word.
So if your mind is keeping the commandments.
Your mind.
What's the other half of the question?
That's the only part of the question. What are you doing? If your mind is keeping, How does your mind keep the commandments?
So
He got it. Hold on, let me see if GEN.YAHANNA can answer it first. One word. No, don't know. Go ahead.
Obeying.
I think that's doing it. That's you doing it, right? What about your mind, though? In your mind, Racon, you want to try one more time?
practice.
Practice? Nah,
You be like meditating.
that's close.
Believing.
Believing, that's close. But what would you have to do in order to? All right, let me go and give it to you for time's sake. What I'm looking for is remember. Remember. Somebody give me stay right there, Racon. Let me show y'all in Malachi chapter 4. You go ahead and man the thing. I ain't how you moving too much.
He said he was saying something, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, do you have your computer cut down? You're gonna have to turn it
over here.
Oh, okay. All right, this is Malachi 4, right? And verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. So this is what it's talking about, remembering. It's the one that says, write it on your frontlets of your eyelids or something like that. Deuteronomy 6 and 12. Let me see what this says.
That was
Malachi 4 and 4. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 12. Let me see what it says. Deuteronomy 6 and 12 says, then beware lest thou forget the Lord which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt and out of the house of bondage. So that's talking about the Most High, but which one is it that's saying not forget not the law? All right, I'm gonna hold on that. Go back. Go ahead and give me where you was at.
Stop.
Yep.
This Deuteronomy. I think 6 and 8.
Yeah, that's what. 6 and 8.
Okay.
Did I just read? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead to verse 5.
Come.
That was close. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. And thou shalt love the Most High, thy power, with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Now, y'all know the fake the fake Jews in Israel, they be writing these little things and putting in front of their head. Is that what this is talking about?
Wow.
When they say bind it between your eyes and all of that, they writing like they got a little box with the 10 Commandments on it or something that they put in front of their eyes or whatever. What is this talking about, and what is the point? What is the point in doing this? Let me read it again and I'm going to go through it. It says, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. Remember the other scripture where it was talking about your heart keeping the commandments, right? So it being in your heart, that you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall talk of them when you sitting in your house, and you shall walk by the way, and when you lie down, And when you rise up, when you go to sleep, and when you wake up, you shall bind them as a sign between upon thy hand. They literally write it on their hand. And shall be on the front list between your eyes. Go ahead to verse 9.
And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates.
And you shall write them upon the post on your house and in your gates. What are you doing all this for? So that you will, remember. Remember, I went too far. What it said in verse 12. When I read verse 12, go ahead and read.
It's like verse 12 and verse 10.
Verse 12.
Then beware, lest thou forget the Most High.
Beware lest you forget the Most High. So to remember the Most High is to keep it in your mind. Before you could ever do the law, you gotta know what the law say, right? You're gonna forget to not eat pork if you don't remember that the Lord said you shouldn't eat it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta remember the rules in order for you to follow the rules. Go back to where you was at. What was the scripture I gave you?
Proverbs chapter 3.
Proverbs chapter 3. Let's go back there real quick.
What
I think you gotta do is you gotta add him to the stream, and then we'll be able to talk back and forth. Other than that, I think he can just listen. So add him to the screen, see if that works, and then you can make them smaller however you see fit. That might be what it is. All right. Go ahead and read.
My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
Matter of fact, the answer is right there, right before it. Where it says, let your heart keep the commandments, it was to remember. Remember, you see it say right there, forget not my law. I even see the answer was right there in the question or in the scripture. So keep going.
For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
What is the day? Who is the day? Who is the day that shall add length of days and long life and peace to you? Go ahead. The law, the commandments, right? Keep going.
Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart.
Now, you're going to have them writing it on their neck. They're going to get a tattoo, get a law tattooed on their neck, right? That's what it say, don't it? Bind them about thy neck. And we're going to write them on these people's table. In black mark. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Is that what it's talking about? No. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. That means keep them close to you, right? Write them upon the table in your mind, meaning like they're going to stay there. You're not going to forget to have mercy on people and to keep the truth close to you. Go ahead to verse 4.
So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
So that you will find favor and good understanding or comprehension in the sight of God and man. Now, we some hard people to understand. Just imagine how much more it's hard to understand God. He said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. Right? I don't think like you think. I gotta tell you how I think in order for you to even understand how I even roll. He told who was it? One of the prophets to go and marry a whore just so he'll know how he feel about Israel. You ain't familiar with that? We can go into it. Yeah, that's what he told him. Like basically, he told him like the Lord did everything for us, and we would and gave the credit to another person, an idol, a rock, a cross, whatever we could find. Any idol that we set is the same thing. Is you trying to be a good husband and a woman going and dealing with somebody totally different and giving them all the credit. You know what? You made me the woman I am today. Boy, he's talking about, and the Lord has he has the ability to kill us as that whore of a wife, but yet and still he finds a way to have mercy on us. It's crazy. I don't know if I got that kind of mercy, but thank God he got it because I was terrible. Thank God he got it because I know I ain't did nothing he told me to do. Up until you find the truth, and then you have an opportunity to do it the right way. So, what was? Hold on. Keep reading now.
Verse 5. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Hold on, stop right there. What does that mean? We trust in a lot of stuff, right? You ready, Jan? Go ahead.
Trusting in the Most High and believing what he said, like the forefathers of Israel did. That's kind of like why we gonna get ready to keep the Passover, because we know that that's a commandment, that's him like rescuing us regardless.
Well,
having mercy.
Those two go together, but okay. How can I put it? Go ahead, sis.
Salakia, sir.
There you go.
1 second now. Go ahead, sis.
Like, believe in the laws, do them, and not try to like take matters into our own hands and do things our own way.
Read it again.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Now, what you said it was again?
Like trusting in the word and following it and not doing things our own way. Like trying to deal with things our own way.
I'll take that. Halal, what you had?
I was gonna say to trust in the Lord with all thy heart, to not be a double-minded man, to believe, don't actually just do it just to do it, or trust in the Lord just to trust in him, but trust in the Lord with the faith that it's gonna work, and then to lean not on your own understanding is to think not that you know something.
Okay. Let me tell you what I think it means, then I'm gonna tell you what it really means. Right? What I think it means is I ain't really gotta go to work tomorrow because the Lord gonna pay my bills. I could be a terrible husband and my woman is still gonna be there when I get home. Let me see what else. I ain't gotta never get no oil change in my car gonna crank up every time I go there because the Lord got me. That's what it means, right? Everybody agree, right? Nah, trust in the Lord does not mean that, right? Trust in the Lord means he gave us some promises, right? Like we read it all the time. We talk about the things that the Lord said was going to happen. Recom, if you could write down this for me, don't go there. It's just something I ran across. I'm looking for something else though. Jeremiah 17:7. Don't go there. Just hold that. All right.
Okay.
All right. So trust in the Lord. It's like, okay, well, you know something gonna be right. It's pretty much what all y'all was on it. What Halak was saying, but he like went like deeper than I was trying to go. I just be like him to try to get like a simple way to explain it to people. When you trust in the Lord, you're gonna do what he say because you expect him to do what he say. Did y'all catch that, or do I gotta break that down? You're gonna do what he say because you expect him to do what he say, right? And he said in Deuteronomy 28:1, if you do everything I'm telling you to do, Then you'll be the head, not the tail, above, not below, the lender, not the borrower. Blessings will run you down and overtake me. Now, I had these crazy people that told me it was wicked for you to expect you just being righteous because you want something from God. What other reason is there to be righteous? Right? What other reason is there? What reason is there to listen to your daddy if he ain't going to care nothing about you, whether you do or you don't?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Because you want to do it.
That's a good thing. Here's the problem with that. I don't believe you. I don't believe nobody wants to do good. I think they lying. You know what? The same people that told me that want to go to heaven. What is heaven? Even outside of what we teach it as in the school, what do they think heaven is? No more pain, no more tears. That's a reward, ain't it? They still doing it for a reward. Everything you're doing it for a blessing. You're doing it to go to heaven. You're doing it for something for the Lord to do something for you. And anybody who says otherwise, I got to look at them sideways. I just want to serve the Lord because I love the Lord so much. Now, there is people on this earth that will serve the Lord, even though they're going through something or the Lord ain't blessing them, but they still trusting in that he is at some point going to reward them for being obedient. Y'all understand what I'm saying, right? Allah, you got me? Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I am. I don't know. I want the kingdom. I want the kingdom of heaven. I want rule. I want all of the stuff that the Lord said was gonna get. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason I'm here. Otherwise, you could just go and partake in everything that's going on in this world. I mean, they got a lot of stuff that's out here. They got a lot of stuff that's out here. So, you know, if we don't believe in what the Lord said and trust that he is actually, oh, that's a good one. Without faith, it is impossible to please God, right? Halak, can you find that for me and read it? Without faith, it is impossible to please God. I just pulled that one out last week. You good up? I don't want the international version. Give me Hosea chapter 1 and hold it. You good? You can read?
Okay.
All right.
I got you looking at too.
What?
Without faith, there's impossible, please.
You got it, Halak? Tell the brother where it's at.
It's Hebrews 11 and 6.
I got it.
Hebrews 11 and 6. All right, and you get me Hosea 1, because that's the one you said you were familiar with. So we'll go to that next. Go ahead and read it for me, Trooper.
It's the book of Hebrews. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is.
Hold on, stop right there. He that cometh to God must believe that he is. What does that mean?
So
Go ahead.
that Most High is what he say is. Like you said, we believe the Most High because we believe his word. We believe what he say because we believe his word.
He that cometh, hold on, let me look. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. Who? The Most High. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is. He is what?
Salaki.
Go ahead, Halak.
That he is the power.
He is God. Right. Right. These people believe that a man is God, or the sun is God, or the little Buddha doll that they make, or the goat, the golden calf. They believe that that is God, right? They have faith in those things that are not God's. That's crazy. That's crazy. They believe in the stars and all of that. All of that is God. The black woman is God. The black man is God, right? He that cometh to the Most High God, without faith in him, it's impossible to please him. You must believe that he is God. Keep reading.
And that there is a rewarder of him that diligently seek him.
Read that again.
And there is a reward for them that diligently seek him.
Read it slow. It don't say that. It's my mind say something else. That must believe that he is.
Oh my God.
You got it out. You need some help?
But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
What does that mean? He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Because without believing that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him, it is impossible to please him. That's what it says in the Bible, right? Is that what we read? What does that mean? Everybody that's serving God must believe that God is going to reward them for serving him. That's what I got out of that. Y'all got anything else? No? Now going back to where you was at before, the Proverbs, right? We had Proverbs 3. I went through all that. We'll get to the Hosea in a second. Read the verse 5 again.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
So now this trust and this faith is close. They real close. You put your faith in something, you trust in something. You trust in something, you got faith in it. What is faith? We went through this last week, right? The substance of things not seen, the things that's hoped for, right? You hope that the Lord gonna give us the kingdom. Because we done turned down enough bad bitches that the Lord should give us the kingdom. Salakia. Salakia. Oh, we done turned down enough pork chop sandwiches that the Lord should give us the kingdom. We hoping for that, right? That's crazy. Salakia. That's what we hoping for. And with our own self-righteous self, just thinking we doing something because we doing what the Lord told us to do in the first place. That's crazy. I'm better than somebody else because I'm doing what the Lord told me to do in the first place. I ain't did it in 35 years. Now the Lord owes us so. Salakia. I'm talking about me, y'all. Go ahead and read it. He trusts in the Lord with all thy heart. That's faith. And lead not to your own understanding. Understanding, comprehension. Don't think you got it. You understand it. You comprehend it. Don't get it yourself. The Lord sends people to help you understand what's going on with him. Here's the first thing you got to do. You got to have faith that what he's saying in this book, what he told his prophets to say, and what he tells men of the Lord to say is exactly what's going to happen, the way it's said, and no other way. Got to do that. I ain't got this next one down, but go to the next verse.
In all thy ways, acknowledge him.
What does that mean? I see you, God. What does that mean? In all thy ways, acknowledge him. Acknowledge him.
He to seek his face in it, in anything.
Salakia, sir.
Like petition him or
Yeah, you there, you in the right direction. You say to seek his face or to see his face.
Seek it.
To seek his face in everything. In other words, what that mean?
Like,
hold on 1 second.
When it comes to like whatever circumstance or situation, look to his word, look to what he says to navigate through life.
Okay. In all that ways, acknowledge him. What you was gonna say, Halak?
Salakia. I will say, to seek counsel from the men above to make sure that whatever decisions you're gonna do in your life is of the Most High. If you don't know if what you're doing is in the spirit of the Lord, then you want to seek wise counsel from men above that will give you the right decisions to make.
I mean, that's right what you're saying, but how is that acknowledging God by seeking men above?
That's putting him first, like letting his will be done.
I think that's trusting in him, right? I think that's having faith in the Most High, but to acknowledge him and all that. What you was gonna say, Rico?
Just staying mindful of the Most High and following him willfully and faithfully. We were talking about faith.
Anybody else? Acknowledging the Most High is understanding who's in control. Even if you come in here and you become 10 times better brother or sister than you was before the truth, realizing that the Lord had his hands in that. Right? You leave here, God forbid, everything goes wrong tomorrow. That can. That's the Lord. And all our ways acknowledging him is understanding. The Lord said, I kill and I make alive. I bless and I curse. I do all of these things. I, the Lord, do all of these things. It's a lot of people when something good happens, it's the Lord. When something bad happens, it's the devil. When I'm saying bad, I'm talking about it's just something that they didn't want to happen. It ain't necessarily bad. It ain't work out for them. When you could use it as a way for you to prove to the Most High the same way that Job did. You could be that. Now that's a story in the Bible. Who in the world really gonna be like that? Is anybody really gonna lose their kids and all their money and everything and still believe and trust in the Most High, even though they ain't doing nothing wrong? That's the story of our King Yahushua too. He ain't do nothing wrong. He up there on the cross like, Father, why you forsaking me for Yamayan? Come on, man. For Kazan. These niggas ain't right. I didn't even do nothing. Here's the point. When it says acknowledge him in all our ways, that's good and bad. Whatever's happening, you have to acknowledge that the Lord is in control. Once you acknowledge that he is in control, well, only in Brentwood. Acknowledge, once you realize that he is in control, then read the other part. Acknowledge him in all our ways, then what?
And he shall direct thy path.
That's the part the brother was talking about getting counsel, about going to the men above you, about going to the man that the Lord placed over you. It's his job to lead you in the right direction through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ. So yeah, that all goes together. But you have to understand that the Lord is in control. even if you get led astray, he's the one putting the blinders on your eyes. He is the one giving you the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't believe me, do you? Let me show it to you in the Bible. Let me show it to you in the Bible. Give me Matthew chapter 4 real quick. I don't want to stay here. I'll be looking for a reason to pull this out. Matthew chapter 4 and 1. I just need verse 1.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. Then Yahushua led up to the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
Read it again.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. Then Yahushua led up of the spirit into
Then was Yahushua.
Come. Then was Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
So it says, then was Yahushua led up of the spirit. What spirit? What spirit was he led by? Go ahead.
Spirit of temptation.
No. Let's take a wild guess.
Salakia.
What is it, Halak?
He was led by Yahweh.
The Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the Lord. He wasn't never led by no other spirit. How else do you be perfect? He was led by the Spirit of the Lord into the wilderness for what? To be tempted of the devil. Are you telling me that God led Yahushua up to be tempted by the devil? Acknowledge him in all thy ways, and he will direct thy path. Now, why in the world would the Lord lead Yahushua up in the wilderness to be tempted by the devil? Anybody? The same reason he would lead Job or Satan to deal with Job. What did he say about Job? Have you considered Job? Go and try him. He the man. He gonna pass the test. Mess with him. Watch what happens. I bet you he don't get him. I bet you don't get him. I hope you don't get him. Yo, that's what it is. The Most High had sent the Holy Spirit to send Yahushua up to be tempted. And if you read through all this whole chapter, which is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible, Yahushua passes the test. But the point is, the Lord directed his path to go in that way to even be tested in the first place, so that he could overcome the test and be a representation for the people who could not overcome the test before him. Everybody understand? All right? All right, let's get this real quick. This is not on the topic, but we'll read a little bit of this just because it sounds a little crazy in the Bible. You got it? Hosea chapter 1. Sounds a little crazy. And I know a lot of brothers be wishing that the Lord would come and tell them this, but he ain't. All right? All right? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Start at verse 1?
Yeah, start at verse 1.
Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. The word of the Most High came unto Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Most High by Hosea. And the Most High said to Hosea, Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Most High.
So the Lord came and told this man to do what?
Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms, and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Most High.
So this is the reason why he told him to do it. Right? I want you to feel what I feel. Keep going. Keep going.
Verse 3. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of the Bliam, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Most High said unto him, Call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and I will cause to seize the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, Call her name
Loruhama. I don't know. Loruhama.
Loruhama, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, for I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Most High their power, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
By boat. Keep going, by boat.
Kamakan. Now when she had weaned Roham, she had conceived and bare a son. Then said God, Call his name Loami, I guess.
Loami.
For ye are not my people, and I will not be your God.
Now, here's the thing, right? He goes and he got this wife, and he's having these children, and all of these children are a representation of something that's going on with us in the Lord, right? One of them, he says, he says, this particular son you got, I think it's called Jezreel, right, is a representation of I will cause to cease the kingdom of Israel. So this son ain't gonna make it. It come to pass in that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. Okay, so this was coming out of him. And then he got the daughter. Call her name Loruhama. I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel. Remember, you had the house of Israel, right? One is he gonna break the bow, meaning like his army ain't gonna be worth nothing, basically, is what he's saying. Now this other one, this daughter he got, is saying that he's not gonna have mercy on the house of Israel, but he will utterly take them away. So this daughter is gonna be taken away, right? But I will have mercy on Judah and will save them, is what he said. Now, when he has another son from this whore, he says, then call his name Loami, for you are not my people, and I will not be your God. Right? This is verse 10. Did you read verse 10 yet?
Sir.
Go ahead and read verse 10.
Hosea chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God.
So this is hold on. If you go into chapter 2, it'll go into all of the things that happened, right? And how this all plays into what the Lord is doing for us. Okay, so it'll talk about we have played the harlot with many lovers, and the Lord has given us things that's supposed to represent us and his love for us while we out serving other lovers. That's the point, right? So I just wanted you to get that. You can read it on your own time. I wanted to bring that a little bit out. It don't have nothing to do with the topic, but the reason I brought it out is when we was talking about understanding and keeping his commandments and all of this other stuff. I was bringing out how the Most High told this man. He told this man to go and marry a whore. So y'all don't go out and do it. He wasn't talking to you. You're not him. You're not Hosea. All right. So give me Isaiah 28 and 10. Get back to the topic of understanding. Isaiah 28 and 10. Boy, Thomas, y'all make it in there? All right.
Scripture.
Yeah, good.
Come on. The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
So go back to verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, right? You hear a lot of people say this all the time. The Lord is not saying this is a good thing. That wasn't the original way we were supposed to learn. You know how we were supposed to learn? Don't do this. That's how we were supposed to learn. We shouldn't have to jump around the Bible and show you multiple places where the Lord said the same thing. We got to learn like that because we are hard-headed, stiff-necked people, and we won't hear it the first time. So now we got to hear it in one place. We got to go to where he said it in Jeremiah. We got to go where he said it in Isaiah. We got to go to where he said it in Hosea, and then other places. And then we might believe it once Christ said it again. That's why we got to learn like that. So now he's speaking to us in a whole nother language under our enemies. We speak in English. This ain't even our language. We speak in Spanish. This not even our language. We were conquered by the Englishmen. We were conquered by the Spaniards. Right? The Israelites over in Judah land in Africa, before they was conquered by Africans and get sold to the white man, spoke Hebrew. The Taino Indians that was over here before the white man came over here and conquered by the conquistadors, they spoke Hebrew. We speak these because these are the languages of our oppressors. So now the Lord got to speak to us in this language. And now we got to learn the hard way. Let me show you over here where the Lord said this. Now let me show it to you over here. Now let me show it to you over here. Line upon line, here a little and there a little. Maybe you'll get it. But we still don't get it. But here's the point. The reason why we got it like that is because the Lord wants us to understand. Remember what we went in Proverbs 3. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 4 real quick. Proverbs chapter 4 and 5.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5. Get wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Get understanding.
Okay.
Forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth.
Now, for what it say? Forget it not. What wisdom is it talking about? Go ahead.
Law, statutes, and
The
commandments.
law, statutes, and commandments. Precept. This might be one of the few scriptures I know. Go ahead.
That's okay. I'm talking about Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy 28. What it say? What you paraphrase? What you think about? You might be on to.
I was just thinking about the laws that were given in it, like basically the do's and don'ts.
Okay. But how is that a precept for it being wisdom?
That's why I said never mind.
All right. Read it again now.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5. Get wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Get understanding.
The brother says it's the law, statutes, and commandments. Get wisdom and get understanding. So get the law, statutes, and commandments and comprehend them. Go ahead.
Forget it not.
And remember them. It's everything we've been talking about this whole class. Go ahead.
Neither decline from the words of my mouth.
Neither decline from the words of my mouth. Make this important to you. Go ahead.
Forsake her not.
Oh yeah. So you'll hear people that will say this. We don't teach this, but in the scriptures, wisdom is referred to as a her. And some people has made her the wife of God. The Lord God do got a wife, and it's wisdom. You got the precept for that? Go ahead.
Come on, wisdom.
What about it? Oh yeah, I know. That's my next scripture. It's Deuteronomy 4:6. Since you're already there, you'll be the one to read. Go ahead. Forsake her not,
and she shall preserve thee.
and she shall preserve thee. Go ahead.
Love her,
For this is the love of God, that we
keep his law, statutes, and commandments.
Keep his commandments. For this is the love of, that's what it said in the New Testament. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. Right? Forsake her not. What is the wisdom? The law, statutes, and commandments. Preserve thee. Love her, which means to keep it. If you keep her, read that last part.
And she shall keep thee.
If you keep her, she shall keep thee. It is a marriage. It is a marriage. You have a responsibility to keep the laws, and with that, the Lord has a responsibility to be your father and to keep you. The things that you do, the wisdom that you gain is going to keep you if you keep and love and follow it. Go to verse 7.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, get wisdom.
Get wisdom, right? Get the law, statutes, and commandments. Get these precepts. Get these lines, right? Go ahead.
And with all that getting,
and while you getting,
get understanding.
Comprehend it. Understand it. Don't be around here writing it on the frontlets of your eyes and on your forehead, thinking you understand the law. That's not what that law is about. Thinking fringes make you righteous. That's not what that law is about. The fringes is to remind you to keep all the other laws. Y'all understand, right? It's to remind you to keep all the other laws. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. With all your getting, get understanding. Make sure you understand what you're supposed to be doing. How you gonna do it and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing? Then you're doing it wrong. If you're doing it wrong, you might as well not even do it at all. Give me verse 5.
Come on. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, as the Most High my power commanded me.
This Moses talking. Behold, I done taught you statutes and judgments as the Most High my God commanded me. Go ahead.
Come on. That ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it.
So what was about to happen? There was a land and they was going to move in and chill.
Take it over.
Take it over, possess it. So this Bible is all about rulership. The reason we got these laws is because we are supposed to be ruling the earth using these laws. This is why it says you got bring, if you have a servant, you got to treat him a certain way. You got a mule, you got to treat it a certain way. You got a farmland, you got to treat it a certain way. Leave it outside for the people that's poor to be able to come and get something, right? This is why all of these things is there. This is why it says when you keep your feast days and all of these other things, bring 7 bullocks, and six goats, and all this. Who in the world got 7 bullocks? You know how much a goat costs? Brother, I went to a restaurant, good restaurant I might add. I'll tell y'all about it after class. But the brother got a lamb on some pasta, right? It's like $28, right? So I'm thinking, right? We about to get, let's lowball it. 1,000 people eating lamb at the Passover. 1,000 plates like that. How much does this cost? What in the world? Anyways, pay your Passover fee. That's what I'm saying. Do not let GEN.YAHANNA foot the bill because it ain't cheap. That's how I thought that. Anyways, my point is, he is giving these laws to us for us to rule, right? To rule. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom.
This is your what?
Your wisdom.
This is your what?
Your wisdom.
This is your wisdom. To keep them is your wisdom, not just to have them, but to keep them is your wisdom. Go ahead.
Come on. And your understanding.
Look at that word again. This is your wisdom and your understanding. Go ahead.
Come on. In the sight of the nation.
In the sight of what nations? The other nations that you're going to possess. The other nations of the earth that the Lord did not give the law, statutes, and they supposed to look at you like you better than them. Because you keeping these laws, statutes, the things they do to each other, we never supposed to do to each other. That's what it said. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. Keep going.
Come on. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
So they should hear the stuff that we living by. Now think about this, right? The fake Judah took your law, statutes, and commandments and built a community that is sustainable intercontinentally, and he ain't even the people that it was given to. He ruling the world using your laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord ain't even giving them. They not gonna charge their own people interest. They not gonna murder their own. They'll murder you, but they not gonna murder their own people. They gathering together every city they in. Will the real Israelites please stand up? Please. This is your wisdom in the sight of the nation. Keep going.
Come on.
Read that part again. In the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes.
In the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Is a wise and understanding people. Them words are coupled together all through the Bible. Wisdom and understanding come along with each other. With all your wisdom, get you some understanding. With all these laws, know what they mean. This is what Christ was hitting the Pharisees across the head with. They had the law. They didn't understand it. They so deep. You go get the prophetess to break down some of these scriptures to you. go get the prophetess. What's her name? Oh man, Juanita Bynum. Go get Juanita Bynum. She gonna tell you something so deep, neither one of y'all ain't gonna understand what she's talking about. How can a person live and follow God when he don't understand what you're talking about? This is why I teach milk. Captain Contazai told me years ago, milk cuts everything. Whatever doctrine it is, it don't matter what it is on this planet. The basics of what you get here, and especially if you're an officer, the things that you were taught to become an officer, and that's on that test, cuts every single doctrine. You know why? Because all of it, I don't care what it looked like, all of it is just Christianity wrapped in some different clothes, wrapped in some different gods, wrapped in something different. You don't believe me, do you? Nah, go ahead, keep reading.
Come on.
No, I remember when that was told to me. I'm like, wait a minute. This Old Testament only Israelites, they don't believe in Jesus. How is that Christianity? Now I understand. This Islam, they don't believe in Jesus. How is that? Now I understand. That's atheists. They don't believe in God at all. It's all Christianity. I can explain that to y'all in a different class. Just come and ask that question next class, and then I'll take the time to do it. But since y'all ain't have no questions, I teach what I want. Let's go. Keep going.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as the Most High our power is in all things that we call upon him for?
Right. So what nation is so great to have God so close to them as the Most High our power is in all things that we call upon him for? Here's the problem. We ain't calling upon the Most High for nothing. We lean into our own understanding. We're not acknowledging him. And therefore we on our own path. I'm saying everything that we already read for a reason. Keep going.
Verse 8. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
In other words, the Lord didn't give this wisdom and this understanding to everybody. He only gave it to the children of Israel. And Moses is advising Israel to keep them and do them. And this is what's going to make you different from everybody else on the face of the earth. If you go to Deuteronomy 7, it's talking about you being a holy people before the Lord and all of this. And then right behind it, it says you ain't do nothing to get this. The Lord just chose you. You wasn't even, you was like the lead, you was the smallest, one of the smallest and newest nations on the face of the earth, and he chose you. Ham been here years before Israel was ever born. Right? These other nations was here before Israel. Esau was born minutes before when he was his twin, right? We the last nation to come on the earth, and the Lord choose us and give us the law, statutes, and commandments. Don't think you better than nobody, but you are wiser if you understand and comprehend the law, statutes, and commandments. Everybody understand? All right. Give me Jeremiah chapter 5. Oh man. Let me get that which one I told you to write down earlier. What was that?
Jeremiah 17:17.
You sure? 17 and 17. What did I say? Let me see.
Okay.
That ain't in my notes. Nah, it wasn't 17 and 17. Let me see if I still got it. Yeah, that ain't it. It's something else. We'll skip that. Give me Jeremiah 5:21.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 21. Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding.
You know, the Lord talking trash about y'all. We must be ain't do what he told us to do. We must be did. Now we got to get called all everything but a child of God. we gotta get called. Go ahead. What the Lord say about you?
Which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not.
Y'all get that, right? Well, why would you, now, if you ain't deaf or you ain't blind, why would you have eyes and not see? Remember I was telling y'all earlier, sometimes the Lord makes it that way. He makes it that way. Keep going.
Fear ye not me, saith the Most High. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail.
What does that mean? Somebody break that down. Go ahead.
Is he saying that, like, even though I've placed like the limitations on the sea, and as much as it roaring waves, it don't go past what I set out, like whatever limit or wherever I told it to stop.
Right.
Y'all still don't fear me.
That's right. If I could stop the water from coming in, and he also could let it come in. They call it a tsunami. They call it a hurricane. They call it all kind of stuff. But if I could stop that and I got control over that, why in the world would y'all not fear me, oh foolish people? Y'all don't understand. Y'all must be ain't seeing what I'm showing y'all. Y'all must be ain't hearing what I'm telling y'all, right? Fear ye not me, saith the Most High. Will you not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea as a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass? They be talking about, I saw this thing where the ice caps was gonna melt and Florida was gonna be underwater and Georgia. Y'all ever seen that? I used to be in conspiracy theories a while back. The new maps. Yeah, you seen them? Okay. I was like, we gotta get out of Florida. We gotta get out of Florida. Man, listen. The Lord saying, I made it a perpetual decree that it cannot pass it. And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet they cannot prevail. Though they roar, they cannot pass over it. A brother sent me a video of where the two oceans meet. I think it's the Atlantic, and they do not go past each other. They do not mix. You didn't know that? Did you know that? Look it up. It's on YouTube. It's a video. One of them looks one color and the other, and they don't go past each other. Now, of course, if you take it and pour some water over here, then it will. But eventually, it'll go back to where it's supposed to be.
That's right. No, I was just thinking about what you said about the oceans. It's almost as if they both follow commandments, like the table.
That's the point. That's why I'm bringing it up. This is what the Lord is saying. The whole earth follows the commandments. Verse 23. Right. The sun don't just go down and go up, come up and go down whenever it feel like it. I don't feel like going up today. That's heavy, right? Who's reading?
Verse 23.
Yeah. Nah, hold on, because it was going right. The whole earth follow commandments and do what the Lord is saying. Now read verse 23.
But this people.
But who?
But this people.
Everything but this people.
Have a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone.
Go ahead.
Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Most High, our power, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter. In his season, he reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest.
So the Lord telling you how to deal with the land. He would tell you, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't work on the seventh day. Of the seventh year, don't even plant nothing on this land. You let this land get back all its nutrients that you done took out of it for harvesting year after year. Certain things you do according to the Bible, it's all in there. Lord is telling us how to be successful, how to treat each other, how to deal with people who ain't right, how to fix certain situations. But us, a revolting and rebellious heart, have revolted and gone. We didn't even think to ourselves, if the Lord can give us rain and stop rain, we might need to listen to him. Read verse 25.
Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you.
They go to rewards again, just not they go to rewards again. Lord saying, I got good things for you, right? But you ain't understanding, you ain't comprehending, you ain't getting it. I'm showing it to you, you ain't seeing it. I'm saying it to you, you're not hearing it. You lack understanding, you're not comprehending. You don't have wisdom, you foolish. That's what he called you. I'm talking to me. Talking to me. This is what he called me. Us. I'm gonna say it like that. I think that's how Captain Zaryak say he has. That's what he called us. You gotta put yourself in there, young. You teaching people feel some type of way. Matthew chapter 10. Give me Matthew chapter 10, verse 35. It was somewhere else I wanted to go to.
So like you said Matthew 10.
35. I think that's where we started at.
Oh, sure.
Hold on, you there? Kick him down. Oh, okay. Go ahead and read it. Yeah, go ahead.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Now, why in the world would you want to follow the Lord if he's saying that's what he did? He's doing. He said that's what he's coming for. That's written in red, right? In your Bible? Is that red? Christ said, what? Now read that again. Hold on now.
For I am come to set a man at variance.
Go up one, because wait a minute. Don't sound like the Prince of Peace to me.
Verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword.
Wait a minute.
For I am come.
What has gotten into Jesus? See, I thought he was the lamb and the peace. No. He said it out of his own mouth. Go ahead and read it out.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Let me ask y'all this. Anybody in here now, I ain't gonna feel no type of way if this is, I'm gonna say no side of Christ, if this is possible. Anybody in here, mama is proud of them because they're in the truth.
Yeah. She I think she don't understand everything, but she respect. Like she told she respect and admire what I'm doing.
Sis, you were terrible. So like anything to keep this girl out of trouble. So like go ahead. I'm just saying that because maybe she don't know yet. Just keep doing it. Just miss a couple more Thanksgivings. You be over here on this side, on the dark side with us. I ain't like, man, what is wrong with this food? Well, you were raised eating pork. Oh no, you too good to eat pork now, huh? You was raised celebrating Christmas. Oh, now you on some. Listen, here's the point. You are amongst the few people. I got a couple of brothers in here. They brothers and sisters that came into the truth. That's wonderful. My brother says, hey boy, y'all be saying some real stuff though. Yeah, keep doing your thing. And he do whatever he doing. That's what he do. Here's my point. Now all four of my brothers think I'm talking about doing that. Anyways, here's the point. What Christ is saying. It's not. If you really understand this truth, the Lord created all 18 nations on the face of the earth and then separated, right? How our thing started, and the main part is with Abraham. The first thing he told him is to leave his family and go over here, and I'm gonna make you the father of many nations, like to set you apart from everything else. The Lord is pulling you away from the world. He's pulling you away from your family. Now, because this is not a cult, GEN.YAHANNA would never tell you not to talk to your mom and your sisters. Some people do that. They're in places like that where they would tell them not to talk to their family because their family ain't in the truth. We don't do that. But they're going to stop talking to you. You keep right on talking to them. Tell them what you learned in class tonight, that they are going to separate themselves from you. You ain't got to do it. Now, if they continue to talk to them, maybe one day, like my brother Officer Matazapa, him and his brothers in the truth, and I believe their mama just got a Hebrew name. Lord, most high in Christ for that. I can only wish and imagine and hope that anybody in my family comes into the truth. I don't see it happening. I know the Lord has enough mercy on me, he'll have mercy on them. And it's up to him You know what I'm saying? But my point is, until they do, Gen.YAHANNA said this in a class. He said, him and Captain Taiwan are brothers, blood brothers. He was like, yeah, me and Taiwan are blood brothers, but one day we became brothers. Right? His son, Captain REI, he was like, yeah, that's my son, but one day we became brothers. You understand? Like, this is the reason why the Lord is pulling you. It's Amos chapter 3. Can two walk together unless they be agreed? If you are devoting your entire life to serving God, there's a lot of things you can't serve, like Mother's Day, like Valentine's Day, so on and so forth. We can go through all of the days.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, I asked this question before, but I wanted to get more understanding. So based on what you're saying, right? Last Hebrew, last Passover, right? At the Hebrew Academy, there was two brothers there that had some mental disabilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the captain that was over the Hebrew Academy, like he didn't turn them away. He allowed them to.
We break it up, huh? Balak, if you're still talking, I can't hear you. He's still up?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can let me know when you get back in, you get your phone fixed, something going on with your phone. I can't hear what you're saying. You there? Yeah, I think your brother jammed up. Where was we at? Matthew 10:35. Read it again. It's in red, right?
Kind of.
34 you was reading. Halak, just let me know when your phone ain't jammed up. I'll let you know I can hear you. Right?
You dropped links so you can come back in.
Go ahead.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Mm-hmm.
I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother,
Mm-hmm.
and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
You see that, right? The foes, meaning your enemies, meaning those people that you disagree with or don't get along with, shall be they of your own household. Come on, your daughter and your son ain't gonna want to hear this. Why they can't be like the regular kids? Why they can't partake in the regular stuff that everybody else is doing? Because of you and your coat. Go ahead, read verse 37. It's because they don't understand. Let me get that out. They don't understand why.
He that
They
loveth,
don't comprehend why. Nah, go ahead.
He that loveth father or mother more than me.
This is the important part.
Is not worthy of me.
Right.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Let that marinate for a little minute. Let that marinate for a minute, right? We could throw wife and husband in there too. More so wife, because your husband should be a representation of the Lord. Yep.
You want me to cue the promo for that class?
You can. We're gonna try it, see if it works. I was able to edit the other joint out, so if it ain't working, we'll be all right. Yeah, we'll do that from now to Passover. How long we got? A week? Yeah. Right? He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So you got a decision to make. What you really love in this life? Do you love the grace and mercy that Christ gave, that we can come back to the Most High and get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? I know what I was looking for. Or do you love the things that the Lord gave you? Remember in Romans 1, it says they have served the creature more than the creator. They have served the creature more than the creator. The Lord gave you that wife, gave you that husband, gave you them kids. The Lord made your mama, and your daddy, your daddy. You love them more than the Lord? Let me see. Keep going up.
And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me.
What does that mean? I mean, wear a cross around your neck? He who will not pick up his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. Is that what it says? Go ahead, sis.
They're like saying like whatever burdens or tasks you've been given in your life, like you have to carry those burdens, live your life properly, and kind of like according to how Christ lived his life.
That's it. That's it right there. Remember when Christ was praying to the Most High saying, let this cup pass from me? That tells you he did not want to do what the Lord was asking him to do. Nevertheless, we don't want to go through what we got to go through neither. You got to be faithful to the Most High unto death. If he tell you to go and die for your entire family, you better do it. Because to die in this life, an honorable death is better than a life that is worth nothing, a meaningless life. I'm saying that more so to men. I know the sisters ain't gonna grasp that one right there. But I know if you throw kids in it, they'll die for their kids, so they understand. It's the same way. Whatever the Lord is telling you to do, obey and do that. That's what we talk about. Bearing he that taketh not his cross. Cross was punishment given to you by the Roman government for something you did wrong, or whatever the case may be. Everything that you get in this life, you've earned it. Precept. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sow, that shall also he reap. But now, Christ was given his cross, and he didn't even do nothing wrong. He was reaping what we sowed. That's crazy. That's crazy. He that does not take up his cross, meaning to do the same thing Christ did and follow after me, is not worthy of the grace that we got from him dying. All right? Go ahead to verse 39.
He that findeth his life.
Hello, you back?
One sir.
All right, go ahead, Racon.
He that findeth his life shall lose it.
Uh-huh.
And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it.
What does this mean? He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. That's crazy. That's crazy. What are you talking about? Anybody?
Salakia, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
When it say he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life shall find it. What it's saying that if you think that you know what's best for your life, you're gonna end up losing your life. But you find your life when you lose your life, like when you lose your family and you lose your friends in the world, you're gonna find out who your real friends and the truth is once you like start serving the Lord. You know what I'm saying? When you try to go do things on your way to make a way, you're gonna lose your life. But when you do things the right way according to the laws of God, that's when you find life.
That's exactly what it said in the Old Testament. Remember, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lead not into your own understanding. That's what it's talking about. You think life is having a lot of money, having a lot of this, having a nice car, having all this other stuff. And you never thought about how it might feel for people who got rulership within the earth. Dominance. They know their great grandchildren will never want for nothing. We don't know what that's like. We don't know what that's like. The Lord trying to give us that. So now, if you want to find your little cars and your toys and your this, and then still have somebody ruling over you that don't care nothing about you, that's fine. You can go ahead and have that. But if you're really willing to serve the God, the creator of heaven and earth, the same one that made the sea stop where he say stop and made the rain come, if you're willing to serve him, right, under our King Yahushua, then you'll find what they call everlasting life. Everlasting life, meaning that it's perpetual, it's not going to stop. You'll continue to get life, meaning the blessings that come along with keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, keep going.
He that receiveth you receiveth me,
Mhm.
and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
Another precept for what how the brother broke it down. Give me Proverbs 14:2 real quick. I know you heard this a million times, right? He said we thinking we know what life is and how we should be living, when really we should be doing it according to the way that the Lord says to do it.
Salakia, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the another precept is Matthews where he say worry not what you gonna eat or what you gonna drink. I feed the birds of the
That's a
sky.
little bit different. That's a little bit different because that's more so like the Most High know what you need before you asking him type thing. But that is trusting in the Lord, and that is him directing your path. So yeah, it go with it, but it ain't all the way on it. It's like you would have to connect the dots. And when you give a precept or a different scripture where it's at, you want to make sure that you don't have to do too much. Like it got some of the same words in it. You know what I'm saying? It got the same understanding in it. So you ain't got to break it down and make it fit together. You understand?
Turn on one contract the water.
But yeah, it can go there. I wouldn't use it, but it can be used as a precept. You got that scripture for me?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 2. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Most High, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth
14
him.
and 2. That's where you at?
Proverbs.
I might be in the wrong place then. Hold on. 14 and 12. Salaki.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
That's what it is right there. He that findeth his life shall lose it. You think you doing everything you can do for you to live a good, prosperous life. But if it ain't serving the Most High, it ain't going to get you what you're trying to get. There's a lot of rich niggas getting killed. There's a lot of rich people. There's a lot of people who got good jobs that can't feed their kids for one reason or another, or something is happening that no matter what they do, they can't get ahead. It's because they're missing the key point. The key point is to serve the creator of heaven and earth. All right, that's what Christ was saying. Go ahead.
Would the story of the rich man who came to Christ be a good example of that? When he told him to sell all his things?
Yes, yeah, that'll be a good one. The reason why is because he asked, "What must I do to get eternal life?" He already had money. He was actually already keeping the law too. So what more did he have to do? Well, what that story is talking about is now that we're under a new covenant and a new priesthood, it's not enough that we just keep the law. What Christ told Peter was, Simon, Satan desires to have you and sift you as wheat. But I pray for you that you remain strong. And then when you convert it, go and strengthen your brethren. If you read through all through the Old Testament, in Isaiah, I believe it's 11, and Jeremiah, I believe it's 25. All through there is talking about the Lord gathering his people. Gathering his people. And that ain't gonna come by abracadabra. We all just gonna meet in the desert, in the wilderness. That's not how it works. It works through the foolishness of preaching and teaching. It works through us giving the people the word. That's why we go out on the streets. We might be out there all day and nobody might hear it. One person might hear it and they might not come into the truth. They might be like, yeah, like my brother. Yeah, that's some real stuff they was saying out there. And then they go in wherever they was going to do whatever they was doing. This is the parable of when it's talking about the seeds that fall. Some gonna follow good ground, some gonna follow whatever. The point is for us to be doing the work. For us to be doing the work. So yeah, that's a good one. When he was talking about him, but he was saying on top of that, on top of you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you got to go out and do what I'm doing. Come do what I'm doing. What Christ was doing was he was in the temples every Saturday teaching. While everybody chilling, he out teaching. While everybody doing this, that, or the other, he going from place to place to place, giving people the word of God. And that's what the other dude was lacking. So yeah, it's kind of like the other brother's precept. It's there, but you would have to break it down for somebody to see how they fit together. All right. Luke 14 and 26 is the same thing, a different account. 14 and 26. Somebody get that real quick. Hey, Halak, after this verse, I want you to tell me what you was trying to say earlier when you got cut off, all right? Y'all got it? Go ahead.
Luke chapter 14, verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters.
That's hard right there.
Yea.
That's hard right there.
And his own life also.
I love my mama.
He cannot be my disciple.
I love my children. I love my wife. Early I went on. I gotta hate them all, bro. What does that mean? This is the same account, but I mean this is the same story, but Luke says it in that manner. It don't say hate your mother and wife in Matthew. So I'm bringing this out for a point. When somebody see that, they may get it confused about what Christ is really saying. What does he mean by hate your mother and father? Because it is a law and a commandment to love and honor your mother and father.
So
go ahead.
It doesn't mean for you to hate them literally, but don't love them more than you love him.
That's right. It's relative. It's relative. I can have two cars, but I love one. No man can serve two masters. You're going to love one and hate the other one. It's relative. It's comparing it to your love for the Most High. Right? Although I love these people to death, if I got to choose between them and the Most High or them and Christ, it's always going to be Christ. They going to feel like I hate them. Y'all understand that, right? It's not literally hate them, like treat them bad, do something wrong to them. That is against the law, statutes, and commandments. You're supposed to take care of your damn kids. Don't do it like, oh yeah, I hate my kids because Christ told me. That's not what that means. That's not what that means. You're going to jail. I'm just telling you. All right. Everybody understand? Halak, what you was trying to bring out earlier?
He said he had a bad connection, so I lost what that's what it is.
Yeah, he had said he was back though when he walked out.
Yeah, he's back up, but he's not saying nothing.
All right, so give me let me see if I can find this. 1 Kings 4. And let me see here. Is it 3 and 1? Yeah, let's read this real quick. It's gonna be a little bit of reading.
So like it, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I couldn't hear you, so I was trying to make sure you weren't calling for me.
I did. Go
So
ahead and
like
tell me what
the connection is bad. I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Go ahead and say what you were saying earlier.
Oh yeah, at the Hebrew Academy last year, right? There were some brothers there, some minors that had some obvious mental health issues, right? And the instructors of the Hebrew Academy, they allowed them to be a part and to participate. So now my question is, when you was making your teachings along the lines of like it gotta be us that want to follow after Christ and that want to, you know, obey his laws. Like, how do we govern those people that have issues to where they would never understand the process of um like when the scripture was saying like give your heart, like understanding the scriptures with all your heart and your mind, you know, like how, like if they don't have that, like how do we govern them as a people? Do we fill in that gap for them?
Let me make sure I understand what you're asking me. You asking me for people who don't or don't have the capacity to understand what we're doing, but they want to be a part of it. Is that what you're asking, or are you asking something different?
Like, you know, they have mental issues, but they don't understand how to like they would never understand that eating pork is unlawful. They will never understand that, you know, sleeping with other nations, like sleeping with different nations is sinful. You know, they'll never understand that. So like, how do we fill in the gap for them? Like, how do the Most High judge them type people?
Okay. All right. First thing you got to understand is this is the whole reason for rank, order, and structure, right? Rank, order, and structure. And it's terrible and it's a hard thing from the outside looking in because nobody want nobody to tell them what to do, right? But at the end of the day, when you go throughout places in the Bible, the Lord will send a man to tell the children of Israel what to do. And then once they listen to what that man said, it says that they listened and obeyed the Lord. The Lord ain't told them nothing. The man told them. You understand what I mean by that, right? Maybe you can't hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, it'll be on the recording. This is how it works, right? Give me the Watchman. Watchman. I have made thee a watchman. Give me that one. Give me give me 2 Corinthians 8:12. Just so y'all know, this is what I do for a living. I answer questions. That's why I be asking y'all if y'all have any questions. This is what I've ordered, and this is my duty. To either have the answer or to go and get it. Because I know men that do if I don't. All right? Go ahead.
Corinthians first.
2 Corinthians 8:12.
Okay.
Give me 11. I believe this might be the verse I need.
Now therefore, perform the doing of it, that as there was a readiness to will, so there may be a performance also out of that which you have. For if there be first a willing mind, it is accepted according to that a man have.
Allah, you there?
Con out of one con, sir.
You with us in the scriptures?
La, sir. I hear you.
You not nowhere where you can read?
La, sir. Not at the moment.
All right, write this down, or you can go back and look at it later. This video not gonna be up immediately, but it will be up probably the next week, right? 2 Corinthians 8 and 12. Read it again. Start at verse 11.
Now therefore, perform the doing of it, that as there was a readiness to will, so there may be a performance also out of that which you have.
Now, let me stop it right there. It says, now therefore perform the doing of it, that as there was a readiness to will. Here's the first thing you got to have if you want to serve the Most High. The readiness to will. What does that mean? Allah, what does that mean? The readiness to will.
Like to have a zeal to want to serve the Most High.
You got to want to. Where does that come from? That just wake up one day and say, I want to go and serve God. Now, Christians will tell you that, and some people will. Maybe that's their story. That wasn't my story. Most people's story is they wanted to serve themselves, and it got so bad that they figured, well, this ain't working. I might as well go and serve God, because that might do me something better than what I'm doing right now. Because I've seen the results of what I'm doing by serving myself. Those people did not understand what it entailed being in that Hebrew academy. Them brothers ain't understand that. You know what they did understand? Something that you understand. They wanted to be a part of it. They were willing to be a part of it. All the Lord needs is a willing mind. That's it. That's it. He gonna do everything else. You come in here and be as stubborn and as hard-headed as you want to be. As long as you want to serve the Lord, we'll take you through whatever. He gonna take you through whatever you need in order to get you to where you need to be at. That's what the Hebrew Academy is about. If you're talking about a mental illness, that ain't no excuse not to serve the Lord. Those are just more demons that we're gonna help get up off of you by you coming in here and fighting. That's what we look at it as. No different. If you go back to Matthew chapter 4, that's what was going on when Christ was being tempted. It wasn't nobody nowhere around him. He in the wilderness. So who is this talking to him? If you just bow down and worship me, I'm gonna give you all of this. And it's all happening in his mind. In his mind. When Satan telling him to jump off a cliff, it's in his mind. He's so hungry, he was crazy. That's what it is. The mental illness is a demon. As long as you want to do what the Lord says to do, then every single brother in here has a duty and an oath to fight that demon with you. This is why he's saying, even though these people got an issue, mentally they can't even grasp what they got to do in order to be in the Hebrew Academy. That willing mind is all they need to serve God. Oh, you'll get corrected. That's what the men above you are for. That's why I brought out that this was about rank and all of this. Man, listen. The children don't understand why we can't just take them to the store and spend our whole check on what they want. They don't get it. It's not their job to. You know what their job to do? Pull up.
Con on one con, sir.
What is the kid's job to do?
To obey the parent.
To do whatever you tell them to do. They ain't got to understand the kingdom or none of that. All they got to do is do what Captain Akar says to do. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Them kids do what the parents do, tell them to do. They'll be fine. Obedience is better than anything. Just do what they say. Just follow what the man above you said. That's your husband. Do what he say. You ain't gonna understand it all the time. But why can't we just go to Bath and Body Works and spend this $300? I mean, it's money right there. It's a lot. Anyways, hear what I'm saying. All you need is obedience. Give me Romans chapter 9 real quick. Did I ask you to pull something? What you got? What you holding? Try to make this quick. Romans chapter 9.
You got me on Ezekiel 3:17.
What's that one?
Son of man, I made
Oh,
me a
okay. Go ahead. Give me. Do I want that one? Let me get the Romans 9 first. Hey, you there, Hilak? You hear me?
Con on one con, sir. I have another question real quick. Is it
No,
safe to say?
let me finish answering that one.
Con on one con.
All right. Give me verse 14 real quick. 14 through 16. You got it for me, Raccoon?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Romans chapter 9, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid.
Just remember, the Lord is righteous. So he understands them people having a big hindrance on them on things that's happening in life because, you know what I'm saying, he had a hand in that. In other words, they are that for a purpose, whatever the purpose might be. Sometimes it's just so the Lord can heal them from that and show it to the rest of the world. Sometimes it's for them to be able to overcome. Sometimes it might be a punishment. Who knows why they like that? But the Lord is not unjust and he's not unrighteous. Give me verse 15.
For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
Now think about this a lot. All these people in the world that got good sense, air quotation, they got good sense, that can't understand obeying and following the Most High. Now these people got a hindrance on their mind where they can't think straight, but they want to do it. It sounds crazy, right? Evidently, the niggas that got good sense ain't got good sense. And these people that supposed to be crazy got good sense, right? That's what's going on. They even out there. The fact that they even out there wanting to serve God lets you know that they got better sense than some people who got a high IQ, who's smart and all of this, right? I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Now, this right here, what made me check myself. What Christ said is, you have not chosen me, but I chose you, right? You are predestined to be where you at right now. This is why they gonna be all right, no matter what they got going on. Give me verse 16. Remember, the Lord said, I have compassion on who I have passion, and I have mercy on who I have mercy. Go ahead and read.
So then, it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
That's it right there. That's the only reason they're out there. The Lord put the spirit on them to do what they're doing. You can read Ezekiel 36:27, where he said, I will put my spirit on you, and it will cause you to keep my statutes and do them. You can read 2 Maccabees 1:3. I think that's where it's at, where it was talking about he's gonna give you a heart to serve. Also, if they willing to obey brothers who have got the wisdom and understanding of the Most High, then they'll be fine, right? That's what I had the brother holding. Go ahead, Yama.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17.
This is the job of the men that's out there that's telling people what to do. When you're saying con out of one con, this is the job and the pressure and the responsibility that you're putting on the man above you. Go ahead.
Con. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
I have made thee a watchman over the whole world.
Unto the house of Israel.
The Lord is appointing men to watch over his people. It don't matter whether they handicapped, whether they got mental illnesses, whether they think they got good sense, whether they high out their damn mind. It don't matter. We have a job to do. And anybody that's willing to be obedient and come into the fold, they'll be fine. Read.
Come. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
Now, you ain't even tell this man right from wrong. And you sitting in a place where people is saying yes, sir, to you and all this, and you ain't even correcting people. That's a problem. Keep going.
But thou hast delivered thy soul. What's that?
I might have said it backwards.
I skipped on.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
Because you didn't tell him. Go ahead.
Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity.
That's the people that hear you and don't do what the Lord said to do. Go ahead.
But thou hast delivered thy soul.
Is there more to that?
It's verse 20 now.
Let me hear it.
Verse 20. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay...
It's another one. It's another one that almost say the exact same thing. But here's the point that I'm trying to make. It's right up in there too. But here's the point that I'm trying to make. The Lord has placed people in people's path to tell them what he's saying. To tell you what the Lord is saying. Now, you can listen to him or not. All you got to do is follow and be obedient, and you'll be fine no matter what demons you got, what mental illness. Just do what your mama say. Just do what your daddy said. Just do what the Lord said, and you'll be fine. And you know what? What could happen is them demons that's keeping you from being great can come up off of you, and you could be great. You understand that?
One concept, the water.
Most High Christ. What was the other question?
Well, I was gonna, you pretty much answered it, but I was gonna ask, like, you know, like in the world, like people that have, that might be blind or that lost one of their senses, they become stronger in another sense. So I was gonna ask, is that kind of similar or like the same thing with a person that's dealing with mental disabilities?
I don't know if I necessarily believe in it. I talked to a blind dude the other day. He was like, man, that's a myth. And he might don't know what he's talking about, but I'm going to just refer to him because, I mean, he blind. He know better than me. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I do think you will listen better if you can't see. You know what I'm saying? I do think if your left hand, you only got one left hand, you could do one-arm push-ups with the right one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I do think where you weak at, you become stronger in other areas if that's what you ask. All right?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Along the lines of like the Watchmen and stuff like that, from a wife's perspective, like if, let's just say, for example, if I see something that's wrong and I wish to speak on it, what would be the effective way to do something like that without offending or?
You mean to your husband?
Yeah, especially if it's like your lead. Like
oh, that's hard. That's hard. That might be something. That might be something you might have to get counsel on. In short, though, everybody got somebody to answer to. Nobody does what they want to do in the truth. You understand? So if Raccoon come over my house and he see me make some serves, even though I'm over him and responsible for him, I have somebody to answer to. I just say it like that. Just let y'all know, anybody I see doing anything wrong in the truth, I'm snitching. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm telling all the generals is gonna know They gonna know. I'm telling you. All right. If it's a man over me, if it's a man under me, then I can deal with it because I'm authorized to do so. So as far as that go, that's how it's rolling. I'm snitching. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna tell somebody who can handle it. But from a perspective, it depends on the relationship that you have with your husband. You know what I'm saying? If y'all are walking this walk together, now if he ain't in the truth, that's something totally different. If y'all walking this walk together, it's the same way I would deal with my wife. I'll just remind her of what the Lord said. You know what I'm saying? The difference is, from a wife's perspective, you ain't in a position of authority to give it to him in that manner. And just like you said, it can come off a little disrespectful if it's not done correctly. You know what I'm saying? But if you start the sentence off with to lock you out of one, and then you go to tell him how you're wrong, that don't make you right. Hey, so I'm saying, I know a sister, I'm gonna just say I know a sister that be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Cause she started the sentence off with to lock you out of one, still be low key be trying to check somebody. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna go right with me. I don't know about your husband. Anyways, yeah, get some counsel on this, sis. If it's something, you know what I'm saying? But if it's something that you might can just throw that out there, like, hey, ain't we supposed to be doing this? Ain't this what we doing? Okay. You know, we know better than that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And then women have a feminine energy that I don't have, that through chase conversation, that's what it says, through chase conversation, you might be able to persuade your men to get it together. Get some counsel up. But that's my answer for anybody else that might have had the same question you had. All right. With that, any other questions? Nope. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Alathan by Shem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. Get ready for Passover. April 15th, Cocoa Beach. Lord allow, I will be there. And I'm whipping everybody kids. Salaki. Go ahead.
What's going on, good people? It's yours truly, DJ Rick Rue, and I have the honor and the privilege of DJing I.S.U.P.K Florida's 53rd annual Passover, going down April 15th, 2022. It's really going down, Cocoa Beach, Florida. We will be in the building. I know it's going to be a Passover, but we're going all the way up. I promise you, man, I'm going to be there in the booth doing my thing, so I hope to see everybody else
I.S.U.P.K 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God. Come on, to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Comes with all your dishes, pots, pans, forks, knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean? Yeah. This here right here about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grades. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the base.